Okay, folks, just a quick update. This is Friday, I think October 2nd, 2020. I just got back from the funeral home. I went and asked a few questions, and I have ordered flowers. We are going to get red roses, white lysanthus, I think it's called, and a calla lily. Lysanthus have kind of a look like a white rose. The white roses they had would be way too big and opened up and ready to die by Monday. So the red roses today are pretty tight and they will be nicely opened by Monday. The lysanthus should survive the weekend. And then we're having some white carnations spray painted blue. We are including a small American flag, and they will put a small copy of the Constitution in the bouquet as well. The card reads, "For an American hero from Nichols Army and his YouTube family at Larry Nichols official channel, and what's right, what's left, listeners." Pastor Sanders is going to send some money to contribute towards the flowers as well. I want to thank you guys for your generosity. You guys are you're such incredible friends. I appreciate you so very, very much. The flowers will be beautiful. I bought a white ceramic, straight-sided pot about 7 inches in diameter to put the flowers in. So it'll be, it's going to be a really lovely red, white, and blue. She will be able to then afterwards use the pot for plants and so on out front. Yes, Pam, he died. And it is not too late to send money. It's too late to send money for flowers. But what I did, yes, Larry died. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let me finish talking about the flowers. So the money that has come in through PayPal so far to pay for the flowers and so on, so much came in. You guys are just so awesome. I went to the funeral home. They still have a bill outstanding. I put $500 towards the bill from you guys. None of that's my money. That is your money. And Larry has a friend here that when Larry was desperate and didn't have the funds to buy his own medication from us, his friend would sometimes give Larry would help. Let's just say would help. And he now doesn't even have, because he helped Larry so much himself, he doesn't have money for food himself for this month and next month and so on. He's trying to figure out what to do. And so I will have, so far I have from what you've donated, I'm asking your permission to give $250 that you guys sent to Mark so he can buy food. If you don't object, if you object, you need to text me and let me know. If you don't object, then that's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm putting up my phone number again. You can call if you want, but I tell you, I was on the phone yesterday. I want to say thank you to everybody who texted or called, okay? I have the list of everybody who has ordered the book. I need to verify. I need to go through my text messages again. Anybody who called, if I didn't answer, it's because I was already talking to somebody. I was on the phone from the time I got off the program yesterday until about 10 o'clock last night. Pastor Sanders said that Carrie was going to come on the show last night. Well, she didn't. I'm not surprised. She's a very shy, quiet man. Yes, Mark was the one who did the T-shirts, and he also has Larry's CD. Now, next week, I'm going to try and at least show it to you and maybe play. But there is, I don't even remember where it is. There is a video here on YouTube that has a sample from his CD. Believe me, we are all heartbroken. So, guys, here's what happened. Larry had asked me to promise not to say anything to anybody, not to make any phone calls to anybody, to let I have not heard from Alex Jones, not to let anybody know what had happened, to give the family time to do what they needed to do. And so I was expecting not even to let anybody know till, after the funeral, and I wasn't even sure that I'd be able to go. But when the obituary came out, somebody sent a copy of it to Jason, and Jason let the information out on Wednesday. And so I got permission from Carrie. I told her I would not tell anybody until I had her permission. So I got permission from Carrie on Thursday morning and came immediately to you guys to let you know. Now, I wasn't told right away either. And Carrie did apologize for not letting me know, because Larry had promised I would be one of the first phone calls she made, and I was not. So, don't feel like you've been lied to or anything. I kept my commitment to Larry. I kept my commitment to Carrie. And I let you guys know as soon as it was public, as soon as I knew the obit was out and got her permission, I told you guys. So I did know a day before you did, but I was trying to wait for Carrie to give me permission. And so that's how that worked. Carrie's being embarrassed about accepting money. I haven't talked to her today or yesterday, other than the text message to say it's public, so just go ahead. But here's what happened on Sunday. I talked to him Saturday morning. We had raised $1,100 Friday after his program Friday, and I had taken the cash to him. And he went to the doctor Saturday morning, not feeling well, and he did it on Twitter under Crowdsource the Truth. Larry went to the hospital Saturday morning, and because he didn't have $1,900, they would not take his $1,100, and they weren't going to treat him. So he came home and told me that, and I didn't know where else to get any more money. He did accidentally call me Saturday afternoon when I was looking at a house just 4 doors around the corner from him, 2 doors down and 2 doors around the corner. And I could still see Larry's house from the yard, from the outside, probably from the bedroom window, depending on what the neighbor would have had in the driveway to block the view. It turns out this was a for sale by owner. The sign I first noticed, for all the times I went by and was looking past that street, because a lot of times I would go on that street so that I would be parking in front of Larry's home without having to turn around. I hadn't seen the sign until Friday, and I got in to see the house on Saturday. They already had it offer. It was already sold. So I've thought about Melinda, text me and let's talk after we're done here, and we'll talk about that. Exactly, Mike. Right. And of course, once he left the employ of the Clintons, that was it. He lost everything he had fighting them to try and stop the deep state. I mean, he went from one of the wealthiest homes in this whole city, the second largest recording studio in Nashville. There is a song, and I don't remember the name of the song, but there was a song with the Doobie Brothers that Larry is the backup guitarist on that. So Larry accidentally butt dialed or whatever, touched to call me while I was looking at this house around the corner from him that, of course, now is not available because somebody else got it. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mayo, and I dialed your number by accident." And I told him I was there looking, and I hadn't heard from him since. And I didn't hear anything Sunday, and I was very concerned Sunday, but I wasn't going to go over there knowing Carrie was there, and I wasn't going to bother them. If he needed me, he knew where I was, and he'd call. Well, apparently he was struggling to breathe, and she had called the paramedics, and before they got there, he just very quietly put his head down on the table. I would assume it would be the TV tray. He had a end table with a lamp on it between his chair and the other chair, and then there was also a TV tray on his left side. He tended to sit in the chair leaning to the left, so I assume he just kind of quietly put his head down on the table, and Sunday, Carrie was sitting right next to him, realized he was gone. But she didn't call me. And I had gone over there to let her know about some more money that was coming, to make sure she was watching for it. And that's when I found out. And she says, "Oh, I was supposed to call you." So let's see. The gal who sent her some CDs, she did get the CDs. That's all I've heard so far. The money that you've sent through me, the Western Union, etc. I have some checks here to cash. I am not going to make it to the bank in 15 minutes, so it'll be, those checks will be cashed next week. And, the money that's going to Larry will, of course, be passed on to his wife for the funeral expenses. Whatever, I haven't already forwarded the money for. So let's see what else. Okay, so Monday is the funeral service. There is, if you go to our website, nicholslive.com, we have the link to the funeral home. There is a digital guest book that you can say whatever you'd like to say. It's Roller Funeral Home. Funeral Homes, plural. Roller, ROLLER, funeralhomes.com. The link on the website goes straight to the guest page. If you go just to their website, rollerfuneralhomes.com, you have to scroll down because they have pictures of the people who are deceased in date order, working from today backwards. So you're going to have to scroll back to whatever last Sunday was, the 27th, to find Larry's picture. So the COVID rules for the state require the funeral home to be open for 4 hours because they are not allowed to have more than 100 people in the building at a time. But all people will be allowed to do is file in, line up, file in, sign the guest book, and leave. That's from 10 to 1. The family's planning to come at 1. That's what it says on the website. And then the service is at 2. Now, I have found out that they do have the ability to record the service not live. And they will post it sometime within 3 days to, Pam, I heard my phone, so it's probably here. They will post it within 72 hours if they don't have technical difficulties, which they have had. Now, we do have a guy in California who did Larry's last video, Revolution 2.0, for those of you who saw it. James, I'll talk about that in a minute. We have somebody who did that video for him who has asked about coming and recording it live or producing a video afterwards. I wanted to come home and charge my phone because it had gone dead, and while I was out. And so I need to go pick up, I need to go swing by Larry's house and ask his wife, or try to call her as soon as we're done here. I need to get some juice before I called her, juice in my phone before I called her. So I don't know what we're going to be able to do video-wise. The funeral home, like I said, has the ability to videotape, but whether it will work or not, I don't know. The link will be on the funeral home website, I guess, with Larry's name. There's a little button you push. And if it works and I find out, of course, I will post it for you. I'll post it on the website and come live and let you know it's available. I don't know how long they keep it up. I didn't ask that question, I'm afraid. If we do get more money coming in, I will make another donation to the funeral home on Carrie's behalf. That way, she's not balking. Don't. It just, Jason said he didn't have the money to come. So, I don't, that's anyhow. The family will be there at 1. The service is at 2. It's closed casket. So there's no viewing of any kind. It's just a matter of coming in and signing the guest book, meeting family after 1 o'clock. And like I said, they are only allowed to have 100 people in the building, in the whole building at one time. That, I guess, includes staff. So it'll be extremely limited. And so since, there's no open casket, there's nothing there, I will have photographs. I will take my phone is so full. I've got to figure out between now and tomorrow what to do to try and open up some space on this phone or get a new phone. So, Cajun, yes, Larry died apparently last Sunday, but I didn't know. I wasn't told until later. And Jason had called me, like I said yesterday, he'd called me at 11:30 Wednesday night, 11:30 my time, to let me know that he'd gotten a copy of the obituary. And so, if anybody wants to help with funeral services, text me and I'll tell you how we can get that done. At this point, of course, we don't need any more meds to try and keep him going because the Lord has taken him. Anyway, I wanted to let you know, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, guys, to advocate that the service be videotaped so you can find out. And again, like I said at the beginning, we've got red, white, and blue flowers, red roses, white lysanthus, I think it's called, and a calla lily. And there'll be royal blue carnations. We have an American flag going in the bouquet, and a copy of the Constitution will be coming out the top of the bouquet. The card says, "For an American hero from Nichols Army," and the YouTube listeners at Larry Nichols official channel, and What's Right, What's Left, because I told Pastor Ernie we would include his listeners in the flower card. So, Carol, that's fine. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you, Carol. I meant to call you, and I haven't had a chance. I mean, this morning I've been on the phone from 8 a.m. till I got to the flower shop, and so about the last. Jason, Crowdsource the Truth, did it on Twitter. Anyhow, I don't have more than that. I didn't do it. White Violet, I do not know what medical treatment he was going into. I know he was on some experimental medication that they were trying to do to help his lungs continue. But the doctor had told him his lungs were in such bad shape a week and a half ago, that any breath could have been his last one. And so he knew he was on borrowed time. When the Lord told me, "What part of Go to Conway do you not understand, Mary Ellen?" when I definitely heard that in March, I knew I was to be here. Larry really appreciated my being nearby and being available to, I would do things like go buy him a Milky Way. We had a craving and his wife wouldn't help him out. And I don't know at this point, I never knew if he was banned from sugar. I don't know. Afterwards, now that he's gone, I'm going, I wonder if I was breaking doctor's orders, because I didn't know. But, he'd ask me for a banana milkshake, no whipped cream, no cherry on top. Man, I'll tell you, I bought one for myself one time, and I went, oh, my word, this thing is so sweet. Let's see, he'd asked me to bring him some Nutter Butter cookies and half a gallon of milk. And how close are you to the grocery store? Well, it'll take me about 5 minutes to get there. Hurry up, Carrie's gone. Like, bring it over quick as fast as you can. It's like, so I'd go flying out the door and get there. Within speed limit. I didn't go over, but I only lived 5 minutes away, so it wasn't hard to do. Anyhow, he apologized. I said, "Larry, I came to serve you, and you know that." And so I just, the door would be open, and I'd take what he wanted. And one time I went over there, I got there, Carrie hadn't come back yet, although she did get back before I pulled away. And I said, he called, he said, "Are you here? Carrie's on her way home." And I said, "The door's locked. I can't bring it in." And anyhow, I don't know why he was doing that. And then, of course, Thursday, he made sure I came over to shoot the arrow to make sure that my technique was correct. And he corrected it. I didn't do caregiving other than just running errands like this. Melissa, are you kidding me? No way. No way. Anyhow, I appreciate the chance to have gotten to see him, to have been able to help. Yesterday, I actually got a job offer in another state, so I am praying about what I do next. Larry had asked me a year ago to come help take care of his mother as she was aging. Family has moved back, and so nothing was said about that after I got here. So I probably am not going to stay. When I was going to my dad's funeral a couple of months ago, I said, Lord, why did you tell me to go to Conway? This makes no sense to me. And God said, I told you to go to Conway. I didn't say you had to stay there. So chances are I won't be staying. And I've wondered why the Lord has not opened up any home for me to buy. I've wondered why the Lord has not allowed me to meet anybody. This has been the coldest place I've ever lived. And they claim it is. No, I was there when she was there as well. No, it does sound funny. I know. It just, yeah, I'm sorry, Melissa. You're right. It does make it sound funny, but no, she was there. And when I took the money to them on Friday, I handed it to her directly. So, and I had gone and talked to her sometimes when Larry wasn't there. So anyway, all right, Jason, I'll do that. Sorry. So anyhow, that's the deal. That's what's going on. If there is a videotape available, I will let you know. I'm doing that, Kenneth. Thank you. And I was waiting for that. Believe me, I was. So anyhow, we'll see what the Lord has. This is all just the way it is. So I just wanted you to have an update since and Jason, thank you for letting me know, because you let me know what I didn't know. So and you guys, while you're asking that question, why I don't know why. So that's it. God bless you. And I will be back on Tuesday unless I have some other, quick something to let you know. So thanks, Michigan Woodsman. As I told him, he was embarrassed one time when I came over and brought him a milkshake. And I said, look, I'm here to serve. That's what I came to do. And I've just been your assistant for 4 years. And that's what I've done. And God told me to come, like I said to his wife, and said to God, I don't know why I'm here. So I guess this was a way to provide a report and closure for all of us. I don't know any other reason. And it probably would have been if I am to move to another state for a job, perhaps the Lord brought me partway across the country to be able to now more easily move to the next place. I don't know. You guys will know. As soon as I know, you guys will know, because I care about you. So I'll let you know. Anyhow, feel free to call. I'm going to be a little busy the next couple hours because I've got to run back over to the flower shop, and because I forgot something, and I need to stop and check with Carrie about the video and call her or stop and ask. And so don't ask me, Christmas girl. I have no idea. Somebody was asking, did he know the Lord? Absolutely, he did. And I really appreciated last night that Pastor Sanders, I'll tell you what he said last night. He said, Larry, an American hero finished his course. Years ago, Larry would call Pastor Ernie and ask what the Word of God would say about, and then whatever Larry was wrestling with. And there's a verse in Hebrews 13 that talks about going to the prophets to find out what God says. And so that's what he did. And Ernie said he wanted to be true to the Lord. He stood for the word. I'm quoting what Ernie said last night. He stood for the Word of God and what was right. He fought the Clinton and Obama deep states. He wanted to see Hillary in an orange jumpsuit. And the Clintons will definitely at some point get what's coming. Ernie met Larry because Larry was trying, when Larry left the Clintons and wanted to get information out, he, the whole dead man switch type of idea, he was looking for somebody he could trust to get the truth out. And so he had investigated Ernie. He says, I don't know if you know me, but I've been investigating you. This is quoting Ernie last night again. And so he wanted to send information to somebody who would get the information out in case he died, the typical dead man switch type of idea. Somebody who would have the guts to tell it on the radio. And so they had spent over the years, they had talked about the drug running through Mena, the deaths, things that had happened in Arkansas. And Ernie Sanders had then come to Arkansas to check out if Larry's story was true, and found out absolutely everything Larry said was 100% true. And Larry had always expected that they would get him. Hillary didn't like him. He had a lot of guilt for helping the Clintons. And, through some of the encouragement that we had given him and that Ernie and Pastor Joe had given him, he had finally been able to deal with his guilt. And the pastor said that the remedy for guilt is repentance, and there's no doubt that Larry had repented. I asked Ernie, I called in and asked Ernie how he had led Larry to the Lord. And during one of the conversations that Larry and Ernie had, he asked, how do you become saved? How do you know what to do? And so Ernie goes through the steps to forgiveness on his channel, on his radio program every night. And so he led Larry through how to know that you have eternal life is confess and call on the name of the Lord. And so I had never heard that story before, and I very much appreciated that Pastor Ernie shared that. So no, I think Larry's lungs just finally gave out. They just now, at one point, had something else been done. I don't know the cause of passing, and they decided not to do an autopsy. He just stopped breathing. And if you listen to last Friday's show, near the end of the program last Friday, Larry stopped breathing. And I started calling to him, Larry, come back. Are you okay? And he was able to take a breath and keep going. But he had been doing that. He had done that a year ago. He had done that. And so he's been very close to being gone many, many times. And he said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to breathe. And I think he even said that on the show. And so I think at this point, he just quietly put his head down, and the angels came and got him. So, at this point, he wanted to stay till the end to help Trump. He absolutely did. And apparently the Lord had decided that he was a better advocate for us up there than down here. So he put his head down. He was struggling to breathe. His wife had called the paramedics. Before the paramedics came, he put his head down on the table beside the chair that he was slumped in, and she realized suddenly he wasn't breathing anymore. And that was before the paramedics had arrived, and it was too late to do anything. He said, well, Christmas girl, we're expecting President Trump to recover. He's on hydroxychloroquine and vitamin D. He had lung cancer, and recently his symptoms were like emphysema and COPD. The cancer was back in remission. So will I stay in Conway? I don't know. I've been offered a job somewhere else. We'll see. A lot depends on what happens this weekend and I need time to pray. So you can go, if you go to our website, you can, I'll keep going. We're going to keep this channel up for a while just so people can listen to past things that he's done. If you go to the website, nicholslive.com, there is a direct link to the guest book, the digital guest book on the website of the funeral home. So, all right, that's it. So, anyhow, he's gone, and the funeral's Monday, and thank you for your condolences. Thank you for the sweet things that most of you have said to me on through in text messages. I really appreciate it. We all have our detractors and our admirers, and you appreciate even more greatly the ones who care about you because of the ones who don't. So, yeah, Scott, you and me both. Well, you saw me yesterday. I was a bit of a boohoo basket case yesterday. Anyhow, we carry on and we'll do the best we can. And I've been asked to keep this open and continue to let you know the things that we did 4 years ago. And so I will keep working on it. All right. Thanks, Christmas girl. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, for you to let the family know. And I asked about the guest book and how that works. And they said they keep the guest book up for a little while until the wife asks for them to send her a copy, and then they will shut it down and make a copy of everything that everybody has said for her. So that's the deal. So I wanted to keep you guys. Look, I've always kept you abreast of as much as I knew, as fast as I knew it, or as fast as I had permission to share it. So that's what I've done. And you have my commitment on that. I've always done that for you guys. And the fact that I'm here this afternoon when I had said I would not be is proof that I continue to do that for you. I mean, Larry cared about you guys so much. He wanted nothing more than, remember the day I think it was last Monday or Wednesday, he was struggling to breathe and he was having a hard time talking and he sounded so awful. And we kept saying, Larry, stop, Larry, stop. He didn't want to stop because you meant so much to him. He wanted to be here with you guys because that helped to give him the will to live. So I want to thank you for that. I do. I really appreciate that you helped him hang on as long as he did. And so I wanted to make sure that we were represented at the funeral. No, Lisa, I'm positive that that's not the case. Unfortunately, I'm positive that he is not in hiding. Because I saw him. The last time I saw him was Thursday afternoon when we shot the bow and arrow. He was hurting pretty badly. And he was chunked down pretty badly. But anyhow, Carol, I don't know that anybody tried to do anything this year. There's always the question. In 2018, he survived gunshot wounds, multiple. There were 35 attempts on his life. He got ricin twice, and you're not supposed to ever recover from ricin. And that was in May, but in February there was another poison, and I don't think it was anthrax this year. I think anthrax happened several years ago, but there was ricin in May. There was another poison that had been put into his IV or something in February of 2018. And of course, the end of February, that they pronounced him dead, and the doctors left the room and trying to revive him and had given up. And we prayed, and he came back. So thank you all. Thank you all. That's enough for now. God bless you all. So I will be back on Tuesday unless I have some other information that I'm able to share. And so we'll do what we can. And I'm sorry it made it sound like I was something more than just his administrative help. That's all I was just, helping with communication skills. And anyhow, his wife knew I was there, and his neighbors knew I was there. And So it wasn't like I was trying to hide anything, but he was probably trying to sneak in sugar that he shouldn't have had, but he never told me that. So I helped in the way any way I could. So God bless you. He had an arrangement that if there was something somebody else was willing to bring him that she wouldn't, then she couldn't say anything about it. So anyhow, that's all I did was quick in the door, hand it to him, and out the door. So nothing I ever had lasted very long. I mean, a lot of times he'd call and, hey, I need to go to the doctor. I need this medicine and I need this much money. And, we just do our best to keep him going because he spent a lot of hours on the phone with whoever he talked to in DC doing his best. So, don't be surprised if we keep Trump in. There are things that will happen. And believe you me, there's an awful lot of whatever happens that will have been his responsibility. He won't get the credit for it, but the amount of work that he did behind the scenes that I don't even know details of other than he was doing stuff. So thank you guys for helping to keep him alive. It means everything to our country. So, and Kathy, absolutely. My feeling was if that's all the guilty pleasure he had in life, then for me to sneak in a milkshake was not a crime. So, he was concerned about whether his lungs would hold out. He really was. So, all right. Thank you guys. Christmas girl, give me a call, okay? And God bless you. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk next week. Bye. Yes, I do remember, Scott. Yeah, thanks.